So sometimes a headache is just, a headache, but sometimes it is a lot more than that. And the thing is kind of scary. You may not even know it.
That's right. Brain bleeds can happen to anyone, including one of the men who helped catch the notorious Night Stalker. For more than a week, Gil Carrillo was dealing with intense headaches and kept thinking they'd go away. But when they didn't, his family convinced him to get it checked out. And it's a good thing because it saved his life. Doctors discovered bleeding on both sides of his brain and rushed him in for emergency surgery.
Oh my goodness. Now here to talk about all that, brain bleeds and so much more, what to look for, retired LASD homicide lieutenant Gil Carrillo with us, and his doctor who really saved his life, a hero this morning, Bowen Jiang, his neurosurgeon at Providence St. Jude Medical Center. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
This is such an important conversation, and it's pretty amazing that you're doing so well. We have that picture behind us. How long ago was this?
It was on Father's Day, about 5 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
5 weeks
Unbelievable.
ago.
Your hair grew back and you would never know it. Okay, let's walk back for a moment. So you had these intense headaches. What other symptoms did you notice?
There was, the headaches weren't that, and it was more like an agonizing toothache. It was there, I could feel it. But there the last few days, other people noticed. My wife noticed, some friends noticed. I was slowing down a little bit, my cognitive. The wife asked me one day, why are you driving 15 miles an hour?
Oh.
And I said, well, I wanted to see the trucks that were here. I was looking, and I got on the freeway, and she said, you got home at 55 miles an hour. Huh. The place that we're having a dinner at this coming Saturday, the owner is a good friend of mine. And he told the wife, says, Gil's frowning today, and that's not Gil. So they noticed, I didn't, until I finally just told her it's time for me to get this checked out.
It's a good thing you did. It's a good thing you did. I think sometimes people ignore signs and symptoms.
Maybe
right?
they just write it off like,
tired.
oh, I'm tired,
Yeah.
something I ate, or a bad night's sleep. Okay, so Dr. Jiang, when he came in, what did you automatically look for? When someone like this comes with symptoms that are not really precisely clear, right?
When someone comes into the emergency room, usually the emergency room doctor has ordered a CAT scan of the brain. And as soon as the CAT scan was done, it was very obvious that he had a diagnosis of subdural hematoma, which is bleeding on the brain. It's a type of bleed. And that's where there is a bruise, essentially, that's on the outside of the brain, underneath the membrane, that's pushing on the brain. In Gil's case, it was bilateral. It was on both sides of the brain, and it was pushing on his brain and squeezing it almost like a raisin.
Oh, wow.
And when people are a little bit older and they have some medical issues, they come in with these vague symptoms, headaches, malaise. They're just not feeling right. Cognitively, the family thinks something's a little bit weird. Subdural hematoma is always on the top of my list.
But what causes this? How did this happen?
The most common cause of this is usually trauma. And we think about someone who's been in a major fall on the ground, they hit their head, or a car accident. But a lot of the times, as people get older, the blood vessels can get more fragile and leaky. So a seemingly inconsequential trauma can also cause slow bleeding that can accumulate over time. In entertainment, the late actor Bob Saget actually passed away from a subdural hematoma. In his case, it was
He
a
hit
trauma.
his head, right?
And he actually passed away very quickly. So in Gil's case, it could be a combination of a lot of stress, maybe a minor trauma he didn't recognize, maybe it was just a leaky vessel. And over time, it just accumulated blood.
Do you remember anything happening to you that could have caused
nothing happened.
Nothing.
Well, you've definitely had a stressful career, so there's that.
And the realities are, when it was all over with, I really didn't care what caused it. They fixed it.
Yeah,
I'm out.
fixed
Let's
it.
go. We got life ahead of us.
Thank God for that. What
such a great
if he
perspective.
hadn't come in? What if he hadn't come in and gotten it checked out? What would have happened?
He was in a really critical situation. This is a life-threatening problem. And oftentimes people will get worse and worse. Sometimes when patients are so bad that they don't wake up, or they're in a coma and their family has found them, it's too late. And even if we do surgery emergently, sometimes they don't recover nearly as well as Gil has. So I'm really glad that you came into the emergency room and you listened to your body. And honestly, I think your biggest accomplishment is, of course, the Night Stalker case. But really, to me, your biggest accomplishment is solving the mystery of what happened to you yourself. Right? You solved that mystery, you took it seriously, you listened to your body, and you came for medical help.
Yeah, I see you're getting emotional.
It's a good life, and God is good. He brought the doctor into my life, put me back together, and I can go back and enjoy a normal life with my grandkids, and all because of everybody that were supportive through prayer, through the doctor's knowledge, his wisdom. He's a fascinating man, and I'm just grateful for all of it.
Oh, that is so beautiful. How fulfilling it is, right? To hear those words.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is why we do what we do as neurosurgeons. You know, people always joke, oh, it's not brain surgery. Well, it is brain surgery for me. Every day is brain surgery. But not every day do we see the best outcomes. And it's extremely rewarding to be able to see someone recover from such a major significant and vulnerable part of their life and be here with me today.
And unusual because it was from both sides, right?
Bilaterally.
Yeah. And that just speaks to, well, first, resilience, Gil's resilience as a human being, but also technology. We're now able to do brain surgeries on both sides. I mean, in Gil's case, I had to actually open up the skull, drill a couple of holes, remove the skull, open up the brain, or the membrane that covers the brain, drain the blood and put them back together.
You make it sound so simple. Like you're putting a Lego set together. Unbelievable. How long did that procedure last?
Surgery took about 2.5 hours, and this was, like Gil said, it was Father's Day. It was on a Saturday. I remember it very well because I too have 2 little boys at home. So when they called me, I said, hey, boys, I gotta go. I gotta go and help a patient.
True hero.
And by Tuesday, you're out of the hospital.
Yeah, what a lifesaver. And Gil, I mean, I know you're reflecting now on what happened to you and thinking about your family. Did it give you a new perspective on life and what you want to do now going forward? You've already had such an accomplished career. You've done so much already, but this is giving you a whole different outlook on life.
Well, it has. And unfortunately or fortunately, any way you want to look at it, 2 years ago I had an emergency in my abdominal area. And I watched a one-man act, the special with Jamie Foxx, where he talked about his surviving and the rehabilitation. And I was in the hospital then 11 days, and he says at the end of his one-man thing is that it wasn't a bad thing that happened to him. It was a blessing because it gave him an opportunity to make more people laugh and go on with life. What happened to me there, and especially what happened to me this past Father's Day, it gave me a chance to appreciate life for what it is and enjoy what time I have left on this earth. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful being around people and friends, and I've never been able to sit down with a doctor like this. It's fascinating.
A new friendship.
Yes, it
Lifelong
is.
friendship has been formed. Your family must be so grateful, of course.
Oh, they are.
Well.
First thing before I left this morning, my wife said, don't forget to say hello to the doctor for me.
Oh, that is so sweet. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and for really educating people about the dangers out there, the symptoms you should be aware about. Of course, we want to also mention that Gil is part of Dinner and Dialogue, an evening inside the Night Stalker investigation. So this is happening Saturday in Commerce. He and others will talk about the infamous case. So for tickets and more information, make sure to go to stevenssteakhouse.com.
Gil, thank you so much. Dr. Jiang, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.